Hello everyone, Malphite here, and today I want to talk about the state of the mid lane in the LEC and the roster changes. So as you can see now on the sheepesports.com/transfers, mid lane is the first role that is kept. And so we have all the mid laners confirmed for all the teams. And given this situation, since it's the first role confirmed for all the teams, I kind of wanted to go through the changes, or if they kept the same player, then go through the, I don't know, not changes, I guess, and just talk about each and every one of them and say whether I think this is an upgrade or a downgrade, and what I think it means for the league, and then evaluate the league as a whole and give my thoughts about it. So let's start with Humanoid. There's no change here in Fnatic. I already made a couple of videos basically leaking their whole roster, talking about the rumors and so on. And so we know that many players, many fans of Fnatic are outraged at Humanoid, saying, why did you keep this guy? He was so bad at the Worlds, you know, you should take some risks, take a different player. But Fnatic doesn't want to take risks, or maybe it's not really viable for them given the state of off-season, given the huge contract that Humanoid has. It would be really tough to give him to another organization, and also it would be really tough to find a replacement, because let's not forget, Humanoid is still probably the second best mid lane in the league. Even though people are saying he is stealing paychecks, he is still, you know, at least he was still, given the LEC, a second best mid laner. And so Fnatic is probably just trying to retain their power, and so far did not really find their rookie replacement. Maybe they are waiting to see how the other players develop in the league and then possibly try to snatch them. But yeah, Humanoid staying in Fnatic, so this is not an upgrade or a downgrade. I think this is just, you know, obviously side grade since they're keeping the player. But yeah, we'll see how it's gonna go. It's quite possibly the last year that Humanoid is playing for Fnatic, but we'll have to see what the whole roster will bring. Going on to moving to the G2 lineup, so obviously Caps staying. This is no surprise to anyone. This is the star player, the Western GOAT, and so this is obviously side grade, right? It's just the same player. So nothing to really say about this. Really strong mid laner, the best one we have. Moving on to Jackies, so Giant X decided to keep Jackies. I think this is a really good decision. I think Jackies was the best player of this roster, especially playing on such a roster that's really not impressive. I mean, D'Antonio, Juhan were not playing well at all. Patrick was pretty mediocre. Ignar did not impress. And so Jackies was kind of solo carrying this roster, and the wins that they had, most of them were off the back of Jackies. And so Giant X did a very good job of keeping him, and now we can see that they're already trying to assemble a stronger roster, building it up, and trying to find some replacements for other players. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think Giant X in general is going to be stronger, but now we're talking just about the mid laners, and so this is a side grade for Giant X, but overall I think the power of the team is going to increase. Now, finally, an interesting one, since it's not just replacing the same player, or just re-signing or keeping the player, right? Zviru for Heretics, replaced by Kamiloo. So Heretics also had Perks, then they had Zviru, now they have Kamiloo. So this is a completely new roster. They're only keeping Flacket, Jankos is being replaced by Shio, and then they have 3 new rookies. Kamiloo is a historic signing for the LEC, because Kamiloo is coming from a second degree league, so basically a second division of the LFL. So I guess overall a third level league, because you have LEC, then you have LFL, the minor league, right? First division, and then you have second division of the minor league. So he's coming from the second division of the LFL from the team Easy Dream. And to my surprise, more teams were interested in this guy. So maybe he is really some diamond in the rough, really star rookie player, something like Jackies, possibly last year. I do not know much. You know, being good on the second division team is so much easier than being good on the first division team, and even much more easier than being good in LEC. So immediately just getting adjusted to the LEC level, to the transition, I would say this is a downgrade. So this is a this is downgrade. However, I think potentially if they keep this player and try to build around him, try to nurture this player in their team, I think he can be a upgrade overall. Maybe in summer, by the end of summer, maybe this is already an upgrade. However, I do not know how this team is how this player is going to perform. So overall, I think this is a downgrade so far, with a possible upside and possible upgrade in the end. But definitely an exciting move, because I want to see, is this player actually good? How is this player going to perform in the league? Very hyped rookies are always something exciting to at least look forward to, but I do not expect much. So I'm keeping my expectations pretty low. Vladi. So you could say there's no change being made here. However, we know that Vladi only played in KC for one split, and the team was arguably a bit worse. I would say Czajek is an upgrade over closer. And then we have this whole hyped, rumored Kalist over upset, and finally playing back with Targamas and Vladi reuniting. So having some old synergy back together. We know these players like to play together, they vibe together and so on. So just from that, I would already expect this to be an upgrade. However, we need to consider that Vladi is only in this team for one split. And so if you would look at the rosters from last split, we can see it's Saken here. And so last year, even in spring, right? It's Saken. And so I count Vladi as a roster change, although not directly in this offseason, however, in recent time, I guess. And he also is going to be playing with a new team, and he's not been playing in KC for so long, but he definitely showed some promise. And so I'll just say this is basically a side grade, but a little bit of an upgrade here. Not really a significant one, but I think an upgrade. And I think if we're going to see Vladi being good, this is his opportunity to showcase it on this good roster. Now finally, very exciting news coming. Jojopyun replacing Frescoe in Koi, or what used to be Mad Lions Koi. So the core of the team is kept, replacing only one player, and so Frescoe did not perform very well on the world stage and also in the regular seasons, or the LEC, just league, right? Jojopyun, a huge star talent from the NA, coming and taking Frescoe's position. I think this is a massive upgrade in the mid lane. So really good for Koi, and good thing that he's coming to an environment where the coach is staying, Melzet, the players are staying, and they already know how they want to play. They probably got most of the stuff figured out. They have the basics figured out, and so Jojo will come into the team that already kind of has a perspective, and he can just focus on doing what he's being told, playing his role, and just being that mechanical talent that he is. And so this is why I just see it as a massive upgrade. Rogue, not much to say. Larssen staying in this roster. The rest of the roster is probably going to be not very good, because the deal still did not really go through, and it most likely won't go through this off-season. And so we are most likely going to see a budget roster for Rogue. The previous roster did not really mesh together well, and also was not that impressive. So I just think this is a side grade, even given any other roster. Rogue wasn't very impressive team last season, so maybe Larssen will have to wait a little bit longer to get a better team around him. Moving on to SK Gaming, we have Reeker replacing Niski. So both Reeker and Genax coming from the BDSA Academy, or BDS Academy, BDSA. They won the EU Masters, right? They were really dominant in the LFL. Reeker was already in the LEC previously with the Mad Lions. That was pretty bad, pretty horrendous performance. I think he was there only for a split, maybe Yeah, I think it was one split, and then actually Niski joined and replaced him. Now we see the opposite, where Reeker is the one replacing Niski. I still think this is a downgrade. I still think people are sleeping on Niski a bit. They're saying he's washed up, but he is a very solid player. He's not necessarily a carry, he's more of a, I would say, a playmaker. Someone you just put on the roster and he immediately makes the roster very, very solid. And so that's a bit of a shame that we are losing such a, in my opinion, solid and well-rounded player. But we have to see how Reeker performs. The whole roster they had in the BDSA was very, very impressive. However, I just cannot see this as not being a downgrade. Even though Reeker gets so much better, I don't expect him to be as bad as his performance on the Mad Lions the last time he was in the LEC. However, I guess maybe I'm a bit of a Niski fanboy. At least on paper, I think this is a downgrade. In Team BDS, Team BDS kept Nuke. Nuke was getting better every year, but yeah, the same player, so this is obviously a side grade. I'm really, really excited for the BDS roster, but I'm not going to talk about the whole roster yet, because in this video I just wanted to go over the mid lane, and I'm already getting sidetracked a bit. And for Team Vitality, we have VTO, a very, very big mechanical talent. I think he was also the MVP of, I don't know, last year or 2 years ago of the LEC, coming as a rookie. Or Rookie of the Year or something, getting replaced by Czajek from the Team Vitality Academy. I think this is a downgrade. However, we know that VTO already has been on many teams, and while the team is doing well, he is really insane. He's the reason why the teams are winning. When the team is funneling gold into him, he can beat so many other mid laners and just be this talented mechanical player. However, when some inconvenience arises, he suddenly crumbles and the whole team crumbles along with him. So there's not much good being told about his like demeanor, or you know, people are saying he is he's a bit toxic, he has some issues and so on. And maybe that's the reason why we are not going to be seeing him at least next split in the LEC. Czajek, many people are saying, is not the best mid laner to get, but I guess Team Vitality is trying to go for a bit of a budget signing and get some players from their academy to kind of show them that they value the academy and so on. And so I think this is a downgrade. I think this is going to be a downgrade throughout the year. However, I think sometimes getting a worse player with better attitude and maybe better vibes can help the team much more than just having a, let's say, better player, but a very bad people skills or very bad vibes and, you know, stuff like that. And so overall, when we look at the stuff that actually is changing, I think Reeker is a downgrade from Niski. I think Czajek is a downgrade from VTO, and I think Kamiloo is an immediate downgrade from Sviru, at least a little bit. We're going to see. And then Jojopyun is a massive upgrade from Frescoe. So depending on how you look at this, you could say that, you know, not much is changing. You could say that actually the mid lane is downgrading. But if you look at the best teams, that is the best predictor, or the best way to determine how the state of the league is going to look. Because if you look at the best teams, it's always the question of how many really good teams are there in the league, and can there actually be some competitors. So for example, a big problem for G2 is that no team can actually contest them, and so they cannot really get better within their own league. Same thing in the LCS we had, where only FlyQuest and TL were actually good teams, and so that's already good to have like two good teams. But let's look at the LCK or LPL, for example. There are so many good teams at the top, which raises the level of the whole league so much more. And so what are the good teams actually? And I think we have 5 good teams coming into the LEC, which is Fnatic, G2, K Corp, Koi, and BDS. In no specific order. maybe I can make another video about that next time. But most of these players have been the same. So Humanoid didn't change, Cabs didn't change, and Nuke didn't change. Nuke is getting better every year, and he will be playing with a better roster. Vladi is staying, but he only got one split in KC. He's an upgrade over Seiken, and he is also going to be playing with better players. And so that is already a very little upgrade in BDS and very little upgrade in K-Corp. And so no change in Fnatic or G2, and a massive upgrade for Koi. A massive, massive upgrade. You're getting a star player over a mediocre or even a poorly performing. I don't want to trash for Koi, but you know, he had a very poor performance. So if you just look at the 5 teams, then the state of mid lane looks very, very good. We're actually getting upgrades. And so yeah, it's not very hyped that the rest of the teams are getting a bit weaker, but that can be totally expected, right? Given the budget cuts, given that we're getting budget cuts everywhere, and so we are signing more rookies, we are signing cheaper players, and the rosters are not going to be very, very exciting like some maybe Team Vitality monster roster every year or Giant X super team and so on. But I think overall, the state of the mid lane is actually better, and so I'm very optimistic about this. But more than this, I'm trying to hear your thoughts, so let me know in the comments. What do you think about my analysis? What do you think about the new mid laners coming to the team? What do you think? Is Reeker an upgrade or downgrade? Is Kamiloo upgrade and downgrade or downgrade? What do you think about Jojopyun? Is he actually so good, or is he washed up? You know, VTO replacing by Czajek, getting replaced by Czajek, and so on. Everything I talked about in this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll try to reply to all of them. Make sure to smash like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.